Hey Canterbury, I'm Marianne and I'd like to welcome you back to the Weekly Nutshell. Our first story takes us all the way to Syria, where there have been outbreaks of polio. Polio is a disease that can lead to paralysis and has been successfully eradicated from most of the world thanks to a vaccine developed in the 50s. It is only seen as a real threat in areas of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. However, the World Health Organization is concerned that Syria will soon be added to that list. The organization has been investigating at least 22 cases of suspected polio to the east of the country, where 2.5 years of civil war have prevented significant health services and immunization programs for its citizens. Because of this, an estimated 500,000 children have missed their vaccinations. Currently, Syria's health ministry, in coalition with the United Nations, are working to vaccinate 2.4 million children against polio, as well as measles, mumps, and rubella. Our next story brings us to Taiwan, where tens of thousands marched through the city's capital in support of a gay marriage bill that the country's legislature has been reviewing. According to a recent poll, 53% of the public are in favor of the bill. Sexual orientation education is present in the Taiwanese primary school curriculum, and LGBTQ individuals are provided with legal protection from hiring discrimination, along with other prejudices. The passing of this bill could not only be the beginning to further benefits for LGBTQ individuals, but will act as encouragement for Taiwan's more conservative neighbors such as Korea. Over in Saudi Arabia, women are protesting the driving ban that's been in place against them for the third time since the 1990s. In past protests, women who defied the law and operated vehicles were arrested or lost their jobs, but most recently the repercussions have been less dramatic. Saudi women have reported receiving phone calls from supposed government officials warning that women who choose to drive risk sanction. Despite this, dozens of videos have cropped up over the internet which demonstrate women driving through various Saudi cities. There have been 0 arrests. The country's attitude towards women driving seems to be changing, with many more people, including men, appearing to be in favor of lifting the ban. Recently, around 17,000 people signed a petition that called for either the lifting of the ban or sufficient explanation for why the ban should stay in place. If the public continues to support the end of the ban, it could very well be lifted soon. Canada will fail to meet its 2020 greenhouse gas reductions targets under the Copenhagen Accord, even if we work to regulate emissions from the oil and gas sectors where most of our emissions are coming from. Currently, we are thought to be emitting 734 megatons of greenhouse gases, which is 122 megatons higher than the target of 612 megatons under the international treaty we signed in 2009, according to an Environment Canada report. The report does note significant progress, saying that emissions would have risen to 862 megatons if no action had been taken by consumers. But unfortunately, the report predicts that even with current reductions, Canada will only cut a total of 3 megatons of our greenhouse gas emissions by 2020, which still leaves our country a good 100 megatons over our limit. So that concludes our news segment for the week. But before I sign off, I have a couple announcements to share. First, Social A is selling candygrams in the CAF lobby at lunch from Monday through Wednesday for $1. Each candygram comes with 3 pieces of fair trade chocolate made by an Ottawa-based company called Camino, and proceeds will be going towards Fair Trade Ottawa in support of fair labor. So not only are you sharing some super tasty sweets with your friends, but you're also supporting a good cause, which is pretty cool, right? Also in the CAF lobby is Social A's bulletin board, which is right next to the Studco office, and we're always updating it with news stories and all sorts of interesting things, so be sure to check that out. Lastly, don't forget to swing by Tea and Talk this Friday at lunch in room 205. Bring a mug and we'll provide tea and a good time. This has been your Weekly Nutshell, Canterbury. See you next week.